Hey, good morning, everybody. We're here in the shop, working away. Let's see if we can't get this in here a little bit more. There we go. All righty. Good morning, everybody. Let's see how many people come in here before we get started. I see we got 2. Like I said, I know it's really, really late, but hey, well, I've been working second and third shift, so it's been a while since we've done a video. Mr. Nobody, hello, hello, hello. Of course, I know I just spoke with you earlier, so good evening or good morning. Anyways, so what we have here is one of the ass kicker no-name amplifiers that had came in. I figured I'd show you guys what we all yanked out. It had some issues with it, and the customer decided, well, I really want a little bit bigger amp. So what we did was we went ahead and pulled it all apart. We checked everything to see what we had, what we didn't have, and kind of go from there. But anyhow, so where we're at is this was originally a 2x6. I know that the driver's section got blowed out sometime in its life, and the customer went ahead and had some HG 1446s replacing the drive section, which is what we still have here. The drive section's been completely removed. It's still virtually all intact, as best as we could maintain and keep it that way. So we went ahead and just completely gutted the entire thing, started from scratch. Let's see if I can get this camera into the way I want it. All right, so like I said, so we're going to be sending back the 1446s that we still have in the 2-pill configuration. So there's that. And this was a 2x6 ported. Now, I know that the gentleman that had the no-name amps, and for the life of me, I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. Stickman, I believe. Anyhow, he was really partial to the port design, which draws an incredible amount of current. So, we tried to leave as much of this stuff intact as we could as it got pulled out. This was our output combiner, and you can see we've got 2 of the 2-watt resistors that are just absolutely brutalized in the overall format. This was our output format for the output capacitance. So that's all been removed, been replaced with a little bit better setup. Yep. Hello, Kevin. Chris, okay. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name for anything right now. But it is what? Going on 2 o'clock. Anyhow, we went away from the 10 amp relay on the open relay. We did a closed format and went up to a 30 amp, which we'll show you that here in a short. Just want to kind of show you guys as far as what we pulled out of it. Candyman, I know that you're in bed asleep right now, which I know you will see this video eventually. Input combiner. Again, I have only built 1 amp in 10 years with this configuration, as far as doing the port design. And a lot of it, like I said, has to do with the fact that they are very, very tricky, for number one. Number two, they draw an incredible amount of amperage for the same amount of power. So it's not something that I typically like to do. This was our input on the combiner. So, yeah, unfortunately, this thing has seen better days all the way around, sadly. So, pulled all this out. I didn't try to reuse any of it. There was two definite, distinct burnouts on the tails here on the front end. Those got everything. Because of that, we wound up checking everything across the 6-pill section in relationship to that. So, and that's where we're going to go out next. Of course, we did away with this and put in a little bit bigger bus bar. All right. Now, sadly, and this is very, 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 very sad, especially in today's world. This was a Toshiba amplifier. I knew for a fact that there was 2 bad ones. There were 2 100%, no doubt. I was figuring on 3, and the reason why was because of one of them. Whenever I got it, one of the caps was off. So, and it wasn't actually in one of the burned out spots. Well, we wound up checking them, and unfortunately, I don't know what I did with the other cap. But we went ahead and checked all of them, and unfortunately, which I will send these back to you as well, lot number 9-A. Anyways, big guy, as horrible as it sounds, you got 6 bad transistors. That's what the X's are for. I was hoping that we'd had at least a pair or something that we could have salvaged out of that for another potential build later down the road or repair for you, but unfortunately just wasn't meant to be. So let's get this mess here off the workbench. We're going to show you your amplifier, and then we're going to put you some brand new screws, which I didn't even bother. I just threw the original screws away because some of the case screws, they didn't look the best. They looked like they had seen better days, where it's been apart a couple times in its life, and those screws, like I said, they need to be replaced. So we're going to put your brand new screw cases in this as well. Almost in this little care package with you. Mr. 3, what's going on, buddy? What is going on with the 3 maid? Lord, you're never up this late or this early, depending on which case you are, which case scenario. But anyhow, yep, that is, like I said, what we got going on with that. Now, since you just happen to be on here, Mr. Adam, I've got to tell you thank you for sending me some of the parts that I actually used to finish this up. Thank you. And as always, you always do a great job too, but I do appreciate sending me some heavy output capacitors and a couple of the other things that I didn't have on hand at the time whenever this was getting put together. One of the other things I liked was one of your ideas that got used in this whole mess. I like this, having the input and the output LC networks offset like this. I actually like that a lot better than the way that I had been doing it, which is running it around and then stopping and starting right here and going on. Granted, it uses maybe that much more coax to go over here, but it actually makes a nicer setup, I think, to be brutally honest with you. And for the cable, which I've got cable in now. So anyways, yeah. For those of you that don't know, me and Early, there's times where if he needs something or I need something, because of how quick that we can get it to one another, sometimes we trade parts back and forth. Speaking of which, I never did get back up with you on that 4-pill case I sent. So, but I'm not worried about it. I'll get to you whenever I get to you on that. Anyhow, let's go ahead. Unfortunately, I sold my driver, so the only thing I'm going to be able to show you guys with right now on this is going to be just the radio drive. So we've got our hot radio hooked up to it. We're going to show you what that's going to do. It is tuned to where it can, or that where it will, go ahead and drop just a little bit lower on your input drive, as far as on that, once it actually has a little more power put to it. So, but anyways, the board got cleaned up as best as we could. Like I said, we showed you all the stuff that got removed from it. Yeah, I know. I had planned on building a new one 2 weeks ago. I actually had this done 2 weeks ago, but unfortunately, I ran out of time and had to go back to work at my other job. So this has actually been sitting on the workbench for the last 2 weeks, actually done. And I didn't get a chance to make the video. I tried to get a case in where I could go ahead and put together another driver amp. Unfortunately, the guy's been after me for a year for that little 1-pill driver that I usually use for my test. Since he had cash, it went out the door. Yeah, I'm not married to it, so anyways, but we got y'all, like I said, we got y'all back together. We went ahead and put your new fans in, so you're good to go here. One of your fans came in that was busted out, so that was the main reason why we went ahead and just replaced them both. Matter of fact, I still even have to do a final bill on this, unfortunately. But anyways, let's show you guys some numbers. I've got some other radios. I don't know how well Facebook is going to work, because I tried to get on there actually about 2 hours ago, guys, and it was running so slow. I was actually going to try to do a video on Facebook for a change. So, but anyhow, I've got a couple of new radios that we're going to be doing here in just a little bit and knocking those out as well. But anyways, let me quit yammering. Let's get some numbers here on the board. Okay. All right. I need a different stand. Anyways, so 5-watt slug in reverse, 1,000-watt slug in 1X position and peak, and we got our 500-watt slug in RMS at the end. So, and then over here, we're going to show you the pass through. Hello, check, 1 2 1 2, audio. Barely moves. Maybe the thickness of the needle. That's also my 5-watt slug on the input. So let's go ahead and put this on. Hello, audio. So we've got about a 1/2 watt reflect on the input. Let's go over here. Hello, audio. So we got a 1/2 watt slug on the output. Need a little more cable. All right, so 1,000-watt slug in 1X, 500 watt slug in average. Let's see if I can take that light off of that, or maybe so the meter's a little bit better for you guys. Always turning the wrong direction. I know on the camera it still looks like it's a little bit blurry. Hello, audio. So we get about 750 on the PEP. Audio. And 190 on the RMS. Now remember, that's just using our test radio here for the RMS, or for the RMS and for your PEP. So we're going to shut this back off and I'll show you how much drive we're actually putting into this on PEP. Hello, audio, check, audio. So that's 1,000 watt slug, so you got to remember, nice and low, about 40 watt, I think it's about 40 watts PEP, RMS. This is all the drive we're putting into it. Audio. So it's showing about 10 bird. Alrighty. Alright, so the other thing we went ahead and did is we went and ran a little bit of coat of clear over top of the board. Like I said, we cleaned up all the solder places as best we could, get that all taken care of. The only thing I didn't like, which that was pretty aggressive clear coat, we did wind up messing up a little, a couple of the numbers on the cover or the relay, but other than that, like I said, it's definitely far from its heart to kill it. But now you're built nice and heavy. Got y'all set up. I don't know if it's my eyes or what, but this is actually red. On my screen, it looks orange. So, all right, guys, I appreciate it. Like I said, we just wanted to get you in there. I've had a few people, let's see, before make the video go live is cooked. Something cooked. Okay. Not sure. I need the same camera you got, huh? Well, I've got a couple different cameras. Let's set this on here. Of course, we'll go ahead and get this dated. So as soon as we put the screws in there, your fans will kick on and you've got plenty of air. So you're going to be able to drive this pretty good, Candyman, as far as on the overall. All right, for those of you that have been watching, I still get people ask me, the same as 3Made, how do you get a hold of me? Well, with 3Made, he's always been putting this at the beginning of his videos. I'm going to put mine at the end today. If you'd like to contact me for questions or anything, if I can hold the camera still long enough, you can contact me at 812-525-6791. If you have any questions or what have you. Now, right now, I will tell you guys, I am still currently not taking repairs until I am absolutely 100% caught up. I've still got a bunch of stuff, especially since I went back to work at a regular full-time position. So it's been a lot less time here in the shop, unfortunately. This is what I love to do as far as every day, but it wasn't quite enough to pay the bills. So when the other company offered me the position and salary that I did, unfortunately it's 12-hour days, 12 days a week. So I do very little through the main part of the weeks that I work, mainly because I only get about an hour out here in the shop. and then the weekends that I'm off, they're spent right here dedicated to you guys for the most part. Of course, the last couple weekends I've had to get stuff done, get ready for winter. But like I said, we actually dedicate. So I'm here 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, 365, between regular job and out here in the shop. So as soon as I get everything caught up, guys, then I will be taking more repairs in. It will only be very few at a time. So if I don't get called back right out of the gate, press 1 for English. Yeah. But yeah, if I don't get back with you, as far as, because I know a lot of people have asked me, well, can you call me when you're caught up and let me know so they can send the repairs. I will post something either on my Facebook page for those that follow me on Facebook or here on YouTube. It's just impossible for me to keep that kind of record as far as who to call and what order. It's just a lot of work, guys. So unfortunately, I can't do that. I'll just publicly make an announcement as far as what I'm taking more in. I've still got a few more amplifiers yet to finish up. I've still got a few more radios to finish up. I've got a Cobra 2000. That is basically next on the list. I'll be starting on that here in about 2 weeks, getting back on it and trying to get it worked out. I'm going to try to spend this weekend finishing up one more box of radios, and see if I can get as far as I can on those. So, because I know he wants to get at least, he's got, I think 5 that he sent me. I want to try to get 2, if not 3 of the 5 done for him between tonight and tomorrow. Guys, I appreciate it. If you'd like, I'd be happy to go ahead and pop back in here again as far as do a live video on Facebook. I'm going to try it here a little bit as soon as I get the screws in this and get this buttoned up so that I can get it wrapped tomorrow and wait for the customers. So folks, I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to try to do a live video or live feed on Facebook. Can't promise anything because, like I said, we've been having some issues over here. It's the main reason why I've been doing a lot more stuff here on Facebook or here on YouTube than I have on Facebook. But guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the flip flop.